This is the Olympus is-2000, also known as the is-2 or the L-2000, depending on where it was sold. This was introduced in 1991 and is a beautiful point-and-shoot camera. As a size comparison, here is the form of my OM10 compared to it. As you can see, it's rather long compared to the OM10. The reason for the extra length, of course, is this zoom lens on here. This is a 35 to 135 millimeter zoom lens, basically 4 times zoom. It's made with ED extraordinary dispersion glass, which gives very crisp, clear images, and has a really quite good macro mode, which will allow you to focus from about 0.6 meters. As this is a point and shoot camera, you'd expect it to be really easy to use, and in fact it is. I turn it on. The viewfinder allows me to check whether something's in focus or not. I can zoom to the longest length, 135mm, or back to 35mm, and really it's as simple as that. Hunts a bit indoors. Well, that's it. It's a bit more contrasty. It's not the fastest machine in the world. The information on the back tells me the shutter speed and it tells me the aperture. This is in aperture priority at the moment, which means that I select the aperture and the camera selects the shutter speed. If I press this function button, you can see my other options. I have fully program, or I have manual, and in manual I can select both the aperture and the shutter speed. I've got on my top panel here, I've got double exposure mode, I've got continuous focus, and I have single focus. This part of the panel controls the flash gun, and this part of the panel is for my scene modes. Oops, now it's gone. Switched off. So function. So I can select my scene modes there. I can select focusing or my exposure modes there. That is really, really very simple. As you can see, it has a rather nice flash gun, which pops up quite a long way to reduce red eye, which I always like. These, if I've set it into aperture mode, this will allow me to change the apertures backwards and forwards. This will allow me to put in a separate Olympus dedicated flash gun. Well, that's really quite about it, really. It's a really, really nice piece of kit. It's not exactly pocketable, but it does produce nice results, and these are still fetching a reasonable price on the second-hand market. So if you see one at the right price and you don't like it, then you're probably going to be able to get rid of it if it turns out that that's not the case. Right, the last thing I'm going to do is open it up. There's a switch on the side which I pull up, and then you can see the whole of the back hinges. The camera has DX coding, so I don't have to worry about putting the ISO in. I feed the film across to the red mark here. Then all I need to do is shut the camera door up, and had I put a film in it, it would have advanced it to the first frame. It takes a CR123 battery, which is easily obtainable. One thing I have forgotten, really silly of me, it also has spot metering, which is excellent, so I can meter from a very, very precise area in the viewfinder. I like that. So, the Olympus is-2000 from 1991.